So, any fun ribbing kind of road stories that you can tell us?
Well, I will. I don't know. There's a time in Tokyo where my second tour, I think, was for. They asked me because the most you could stay for the was 90 days. So I stayed 90. My second tour of Japan was 90 days, and there was another kid. I was doing higher profile matches and making a little bit more money, but there was a kid over there. He was from Texas. He turned out pretty good as a Mormon kid named Masada, but he was just a kid back then, And we used to go down. We used to go down to the river by the train station. We didn't do too much socializing there at the dojo because we were living at the dojo. So we used to go down by the river and just drink. And once it was a tall bridge that went over the river. We'd go under the bridge to sit and drink. And there had rained a good bit. There'd been some flooding, and a couch had washed its way up against the support beams of the bridge. So we thought, let's just swim out there and sit on that bridge in a big pile of brush and the couch and swim out there that couch and sit there and drink. And we did. We swam out there. We stripped down, jumped in the river, and swam out there to that couch. And sat there on the couch while all the Tokyo businessmen and businesswomen and school kids or whatnot are walking over the bridge, looking at these two dumbass drunks, foreigners down in the water on a couch. A couple, maybe a few days before that, we were just walking and talking and drinking with a couple girls, and I'd leaned up against the guardrail up against the bridge, and the guardrail broke, and I didn't fall. I didn't fall in the water, but I stumbled around a little bit, and then in order to I was embarrassed, because the girls saw me stumble. So I ripped the rest of the guardrail off, and I threw the piece of guardrail out into the water. And we're sitting there drinking on that couch in the middle of the river. And I said, I bet you $100 says you can't find that piece of guardrail I threw out here. We're pretty drunk, and it was pretty deep water, deep muddy water. You couldn't see the bottom. Even if you was in a foot of it, you couldn't see the bottom. A bunch of flood water. And he said, I bet I can. And I said, all right, I'm going to make $100. Says this Mormon can't find that piece of guardrail I chucked out here last week, and he went down in the water, like, you couldn't see him. He'd come up a couple times, and I'd say, you ready to quit yet? He said, no. He'd go underwater again. And then after about 20 minutes, I think, him going down and coming up, that son of a bitch found that piece of guardrail. It was like an 8-foot long piece of guardrail. He drug it up out of the water to show me he found it, and he got his $100 from me that night. But he got so sick from swimming around in that damn Japanese shit creek. He missed 2 matches, not one but 2 matches. Because he got so sick, just runny nose, puking, diarrhea, the whole 9 yards. We didn't want to tell anybody that he was swimming in the river, so we had to kind of keep it a secret on why he was sick, so they're trying to worry about, well, what did he eat? What did you eat? Did you guys eat the same thing? I just kept quiet. Like, no, he was swimming around the river, but, I didn't say that.
Wow. Yeah.
He got his $100, though. He got his $100.
Hey, I want you to swim in that river up there.
F that. All right, you want to do that one?
It wasn't just swimming in the river, because they had to find a piece of guardrail that I'd thrown out there a while before. That was the whole crux of the $100.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had swam out there, but we stayed on the surface of the water. We stayed on the surface of the water. We didn't, go underneath the water. He had to go all the way down to the bottom to get that piece of guardrail. And by God, he did.
Okay.